Tonight we have two multi-tools that are similar in some instances and they're very different in others. This is the Gerber Armbar Trade and it was newly released this year. I did a couple videos on it, but I really like this tool. It comes with a pocket clip. It comes with a double-sided 1/4 inch bit driver. And then on this model also comes with a wood saw. On the flip side, you have the knife that is locking. And then you have the hammerhead, also a bottle cap lifter function as well. Now, one of the only complaints that I hear about this is that this isn't locking, and a lot of people like it to be locking, but you do have enough purchase on this, enough room, that you can get a pretty good grip on it, and I don't think that should be a huge issue. But it is very light and it is very small as well. Now, enter into the arena the RangMaxx. Now, this is owned by Real Avid, or it has been bought by Real Avid, or they share a same parent company. It's some very similar designs to the Real Avid, or maybe they share designs, who knows. But this is the RangMaxx, and this comes with, I believe they call this a clip point knife or a claw. This is actually labeled as a claw point knife blade. And then the next tool we have is a 5/32 Allen wrench and then a pin punch. So this is the pin punch, this is the 5/32 Allen wrench, and then you have a very, I guess you would say, unusual tool in that this is a 3/16 hex head bit driver. So that's enough to throw you for a loop. This does not lock, but on the back here, you have a whole set of 14 of these 3/16 bits. So that is not a very common size bit, I don't think. I've really never seen a bit set for sale in that size, I don't believe. 4mm and 1/4 inch where I live, but that is not a very common size. So you definitely need as many bits as you can, because you probably won't find it that easy to replace. Then you have a fairly long knife. Let's go ahead and bring in the measurements here, and this knife will be 3 inches at the cutting edge, but it will be a little bit longer extended. All right, and then that is, so you can unlock it like so. And then you do have a choke tube wrench as well. Then you have a pocket clip. Now let's talk about this tool. So this tool, as far as size, is over 5 inches long. Now what that means is this is longer than the Super Tool closed. This is longer than the Leatherman Surge closed. This is probably longer than the Gerber Center Drive and maybe the Dual Force. This is a very, very long tool. It is a very wide tool as well. So this is over it's about 1 1/4 inches wide. It's just a very wide tool. So for instance, here's the Leatherman rebar. So this is a huge tool. And it does come with a belt clip, and I actually carried this today just to test it out. And obviously it was a monstrosity, and it wasn't too bad, but I'm used to carrying a lot of 2 pouches on my belt about every day. So it wasn't a huge deal to add this, but it definitely was heavy. And then today we needed to get something off of a motor shaft, and so we needed a screwdriver for the back of the motor so we could get, I guess it was an impeller off the front. And I pulled this out and I thought, there is no way that this bit kit is tough enough to deal with anything motor related. So very disappointed with that. I was hoping this would at least be a 1/4 inch. I could justify the huge weight and size a little bit better, but unfortunately it's not. So this is discontinued. It was on Cabela's website, Bass Pro's website, for about $30, I believe. And then I think they may have dropped the price down to $20, and then now it seems discontinued. But Real Avid makes something called, I think it's the Gun Pro tool, and it is very similar, so I will try to leave a link for that as well. If you want something like this, that might be the tool to buy. Now, I want to compare these two. So here they are up close. So this just sort of shows you David and Goliath right here of the multi-tool world in this instance. And both of these have pocket clips. These are both, I guess you could say, pocket clip or belt friendly, but the Gerber trade I would definitely prefer to carry, and I would actually trust this screwdriver over this screwdriver. So this sort of shows just how things can seem to be a good design, but sometimes engineers or those connected with a multi-tool company really need to spend some extra time and go out in the field and actually carry these and think about what they're doing. Now, I think the answer to this would have been to cut this in half, essentially, and then maybe make a rail system where you could put an extra tray of bits and connect it, or a magnetic system to mount it to the back. Then people have complained about metal shavings, but you know, something like that where it could have almost snapped into place, but you could remove it to save weight. I think that would have been a much better design. This is the RangMaxx. I am glad to add it to my collection, but I will not be carrying this for any heavy duty work. I do understand this is a gun tool. It is meant for gun enthusiasts, pistols, shotguns, rifles, but sometimes these tools do have, they are useful in other areas, but unfortunately this one is just too large. All right, so before we go, I did want to do just a quick tour of this book, and I would try to go into some of these more in depth, but this is on Amazon. I'll try to leave a link below, but it has some pretty interesting material, and I thought this is pretty useful, something like this for the multi-tool collector. Stay tuned. I will try to be doing a review of a couple of these books that I have in the future. All right, I will see you in the next video.